Oops, sorry. Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. A little discombobulated this morning, I guess. Anyway. I hope you are ready to get artsy because I sure am. On this special Saturday pop-in paint party, art journaling edition. I've had quite a week, and so that's made things a little bit different this week. If you are brand new here, if you would like, follow, and subscribe to Corbiere-Scott Designs, and then please share this video, share the Corbiere-Scott Designs on the following platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, or just word of mouth. Share word of mouth. Tell your friends about me. Anyway, for all things Ann and artsy, like today's art printable, go to Corbiere-ScottDesigns.com, and I think that's it for the commercial. So I'm going to talk about a couple things. First, I'm going to talk about today's art printable, and it is called Denise's Daffodils. So I had a friend who asked me if I would draw daffodils, and so I did. My spring was a little bit topsy-turvy this year, and so they didn't come out in the spring, but they're coming out now. And you know what? We just love flowers in this world, right? So it is all different kinds of daffodils. I tried to draw them in all different kind of ways, in all different versions, like I did with Nancy's tulips. And ironically, Nancy and Denise are very good friends. And so this is what my thought was I wanted something tall and skinny that we could do on a slimline card or in a art journaling collage, right? And then I wanted some smaller pieces that could be used, like maybe on a card front, maybe on a Rolodex card, maybe in a different way. Like maybe you could do them in a different way, like in a cluster of daffodils on a 2-page spread. Look at me, I'm all, well, it's paint. It's just paint. A different kind of art journaling cluster. Debbie, this art printable is, yes, thanks Keels. This art printable is available for purchase on my website. And so there is a link in the post for this video to get Denise's daffodils. So I'm going to show you that I have started painting. Okay. So I've kind of been remember I've talked to you guys about if you're trying a new technique, do it repeatedly. Do it a bunch of times. And so I had tried this, like I've just been in this mode lately where I've painted with watercolors, and then my next layer is colored pencils so I can get some basic shape starting to form. So like here, so this one was just painted, right? I haven't done any detail work on this yet. This one is painted, and then I did some colored pencil shading. I think you can see that. There we go. And then these two, I used some gel pens. So this one, I was really playing with color, and I kind of, like, I had some ideas of where I wanted to go, and I did a stippling exercise where I added dots of color in varying sizes, right, to create a little bit of depth. But then I also did some pen work in my hey Deb, oh my gosh, you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait to hear all about it. When do you come home, Debbie? So here I did some pen work in the sketchy lines that I drew. I filled those with some pen work. So just note, these are all things that you can do to enhance your art printable. Okay, so this one, I kind of had this idea that I just wanted to do one color. So this one I had done a bunch of colors and playing with that idea. And then this one, I did just one color. And I also had an idea to, what if I filled the entire daffodil with stippling? That might be cool, right? So let's play with that. So always prime your gel pen. I'm telling you, you will be so grateful that you took a moment to prime them, because sometimes they come out kind of blurpy. This is a number 10. So if you're using a number 10, you're going to get bigger dots, right? If you use like an 8 or a 6, not so much. So just when you're shopping for your gel pens, keep that in mind, that different sizes are going to, not that one is better than the other. I have all the sizes. I just want to, because I want to experience all of it, right? I just want to see what I can do with this or that. You know, we've talked for years about the way to get great with whatever supplies you have is to use the supplies that you have. Play with the supplies that you have. And not just one time. Play with them a bunch of times. Right? So this technique of layering different medias, one over the other, is something that I've been doing for a little bit now, because I want to get better and better and better. Because the more you do it, the more you're going to learn, like, oh, you know what? If I add colored pencil first, gel pen will go on top of a colored pencil. Even though it's waxy, a gel pen will go on top of a colored pencil. So, I'm telling you, you just, the way you get better is by practice. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's the truth. Yesterday, Desiree and I did some jelly printing, and that girl loves jelly printing, and she picks up on the verbiage. She was, oh my gosh, it was just the most delightful morning. She was like, oh, I think I got a good pull. Oh my gosh, it was so dang cute. I can't even stand it. Anyway, she and I were trying to print with artificial flowers. And so, and we were not having success. And so she was starting to get frustrated. And I said, But the way that we figure it out is to keep doing it, to keep doing the same technique over and over and over again, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Oh, thanks, Maureen. I love them too. I love them too. And so does my friend Denise. So, anyway, so like I said, do a technique over and over and over again. Try it with different mediums. Try it with different colors. Try it with big things. Try it with small things. The more you play with it, the more like I said, you're going to learn it, and you're going to learn your product. You're going to learn your mediums, right? So I was never a big gel pen person, but one day Tammy and I were in the art store, and when you walk into Dick Blick here in Peoria, the thing you walk into is this big round display full of pens. So imagine. So it's all those colors, and they're not dumb. They're marketing geniuses, right? Merchandising geniuses. They had it laid out in such a way that was so inviting. And so we were like, oh, what if we, I don't know, played with different sizes and different colors? And so we both had a huge array of, I think I might leave this not. What do you think? I'm telling you, you guys, this is making me so happy. I am loving this so much. So then I brought all those pens home, and I just started to play with them. Like, what can I do with this? How can I make this work for me? How can I, right? Anyway, I've been hooked ever since, and they've become part of my creating repertoire. So, but I like to layer lots of different mediums. I like to come in with watercolors, and then colored pencils, and then pens, and then like a journaling pen, like a micron, and then some gel pens, and then. I like the layering. There's something about that just pleases me artistically. So find your thing. Give this technique a try. See how, and here's the thing. You're going to come up with your own amazing discoveries. You're going to come up with your own beautiful creations that are like mine or not like mine at all, right? Let's see. So I've done these three. No, I haven't done this one. I really want this daffodil. I wanted to do something that was, I wrote this in a style that was it's an art period that I really like, called, I need to figure out which, do I want that yellow? Sorry. Called Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau is, Toulouse-Lautrec was a famous Art Nouveau artist. There's many, many artists. But anyway, I just really like the lettering of Art Nouveau. Hey, Nancy. So these are Denise's daffodils. Remember we had a conversation one day, and you asked me if I would draw some tulips, and she asked me if I would draw some daffodils, and we were just chatting away. Anyway, So these are Denise's daffodils. Oh, so anyway, so, you know, typography has always been kind of a, it's just been a love of mine. I was just telling Jeff last night, and I can't remember if I told you guys this or not. In high school, so my love of typography has been a long time thing. So in high school, I loved, you know, draftsmen have a certain style of lettering. So I wanted to learn that style of lettering. And so I took mechanical drawing. I saw drawing and I was like, oh my gosh, that's right up my alley. It was the furthest thing from up my alley. It was the most precise drawing. I hated it. I hated it so bad. I did not do well in that class. Luckily, the teacher liked me. But I really only wanted to learn how to do that lettering. And I still, like, it's still in my head. I loved that lettering. So I guess it was a win in some ways. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thinking I want to do... Okay, so I'm sure you noticed that there was no newsletter yesterday, and I'll tell you what happened. So yesterday was Desi and Brax's last day here. They've been here quite a long time this year. Anyway, so dumb. So they have all of these traditions that they like to do every time they visit. So one of them is eating watermelon out of a cup, like I'll cut up watermelon in a cup in the pool, and eating ice cream in the pool. And I'm going to tell you, every day that they've been here, they've swam, like, a lot. They swam a lot. They would swim in the day with me, then they would swim with their dad, or they would, it was a lot. When he got off work. Anyway, they, so we got so I told you, Desi and I had our big, jelly printing session, and we did a lot. And Braxton Legoed, because I knew they were going to be in the car for a long time last night and today, and so I thought I just need to give them the freest day, you know. So then they got up early, which is an unusual feat for those two during the summer. But anyway, so our day started early. So by like 9:30, we were in the pool. So, I'm not kidding. We were in the pool maybe 10 minutes, and Braxton said, oh, Auntie, my goggles broke. And I said, okay. And he said, but I want to show you how I can swim the whole length of the pool with one breath. And I said, okay. So I was in the deep end, and he was going to swim to me. And he did it. He went under and swam the whole length of the pool, but he didn't have his goggles on, so his eyes weren't open, and he smashed into the end of the pool. And I was like smiling, like, oh my gosh, he did it. And then he came up, and his face was full of blood. It was a gusher. So I was trying to lift him out of the pool and then get out of the pool myself. He had gashed the top of his nose so bad that we ended up having to take him to the urgent care, and then the urgent care wouldn't take their insurance, and we learned a lot yesterday. We took him to the hospital, so he ended up having to get some stitches, which, as you can imagine, freaked him out. Anyway, it was quite a day. And you can imagine that took the whole day. I'm not kidding, like the whole day. It was just, holy smokes. It was crazy. So, obviously, I did not write. I'm telling you, Keely, between the no internet, so Jeff and I both had to like figure something else out, and then the pool debacle. It was just insanity. It was crazy. So in this one, I'm going to come in and do some dots with the orange. And this orange is quite bright. But I've got that nice, do you see that nice goldenrod-ish color underneath? Good morning, Denise. So Denise, these are your daffodils. I was talking to Nancy. Do you remember when you two had a conversation with me and asked me to draw daffodils and tulips? So these are Denise's daffodils. So I know this is quite bright, but I'm also thinking about adding a little bit of, well, nah, you are. I adore you, Denise. So I'm going to add some of this because it's going to add like another kind of it's almost kind of a glowy vibe to this daffodil. And this is a number 10 also, so you see that I'm getting big dots of color, right? Okay, so I'm liking that, but I'm feeling like, what if I did something a little bit more? What if I did something really quite daring on this? And so you see, like once I've finished all of this, I can fussy cut these, and then I have these pieces of artsy fodder to create with after. So I know that I have this, look at this, almost like a periwinkle gel pen. So opposite of yellow on the color wheel is purple. So what if we came in, oh, I should have done my little test down there. What if we come in and we do little bits of purple. You probably can't see that there. Maybe that's better. And see what happens. I mean, it's all about experimenting, right? So not as much as the orange, certainly. We just want to do bits. But I'm thinking the bits that are the darkest, right? So where a petal meets the center of the flower, where one petal is overlaying another petal, so we'll do right here, but just a little bit, right? Here, the same thing. See what happens. I mean, if it turns out terrible, then we just, then I learned something. I think sometimes don't take it so seriously, Did you know that it is, I just saw this the other day. So as of August 1st, it is on August 1st. These are my notes from when we were going to have an art print pop and paint party that day. So, subtract as you wish. So on August 1st, it is 91 days till Halloween. That's kind of crazy, right? 119 days till Thanksgiving, 146 days until Christmas, and 153 days until New Year's Day, until 2025. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. Okay. So now you've met Denise's daffodils, and you saw my first way of playing with it. I want to show you something else that I've been kind of thinking about. So I have it printed another time on watercolor paper, and that's just the 90-pound watercolor paper that I ran through my printer, right? Oh gosh, everybody take a drink. A half an hour in and I haven't even done that. Sorry about that. Okay. Move this way, I guess. Let's do some pan pastels. I just thought this just kind of lends itself to that. It's kind of making me all kinds of happy. So let's see. Let's do this one first. So I'm just going to get some color. It's crazy, isn't it? I know, Denise, me too. It's just going too fast, I think. Too fast. So I'm just going to start. I just really like these pan pastels. Thank you, Peggy, for reigniting my love of pan pastels. When I was at her house, I played with her pan pastels and some stencils, and that was it. I was hooked. And I'll tell you, you know, I love the, so I just like to do, again, I like to do layers, right? So I just like and I just put it on with a circular kind of application because that's going to give me some pretty decent coverage. And I tend to, I like kind of the more buttery, a warm yellow versus a lemony, cool yellow. So I brought, I also brought the orange out, but I think I want to add a little bit of orange, there we go. There we go. Now, let's get a little bit of orange and let's just do some shading. I'm just gonna get that on there, just little by little by little by little. And the thing about pan pastels is they blend so beautifully. Oh, that's so cool, Keels. You do always do those countdowns. I love that. I do love it. So, and you know, this could be, I could have done this in purple and pink. It doesn't matter. I mean, daffodils are usually yellow, and so that's, so the newsletter will go out today, you guys. It was quite a trying day yesterday, as you can imagine. Okay, I'm liking it, but I feel like I really want to blend a little bit more. So I'm feeling like I want to come back with my yellow and kind of work that over the orange. Well, Michelle, how in the world are you? It was. It was a frustrating Friday. It was just crazy. It was just... And stitches were not on his to-do list for Friday, let me just tell you. But when he walked in, after he got his stitches, he was like... His dad told him he looked like a badass. So you know what? That's all it took. That's all it took. Then it was a point of pride. You know what I mean? So this, I feel like, I don't know what I want to add on here, but I'm feeling like I'm going to use the, remember this Degas fixative that Peggy got me? It is the best, I'm telling you right now. It's the best. Number one, because I can spray it in my house and I don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be outside and have ventilation and all of that. And it's not an aerosol. It's just a, right? Ta-da, done. So I'm going to let that go. And while this is drying, because I have another idea of another, excuse me, hiccup. Another layer I want to put on there. So while that is drying and I am hemming and hawing about my next layer, let's talk about our, yeah, Michelle, how crazy is that? How crazy is that? So, a couple things. So, do you see this grosgrain ribbon that I have here on my art journal? For my art retreat, we made art journals, and I found this amazing ribbon, and they were all different artists and all different artists' works. So, so here's the Ziploc, right? So you see there's Andy Warhol, and there's the Scream by Munch, and then, here we have Pete Mondrian, we have, well, you name it, we've got it. Anyway, I was putting some ribbon, I had Desi put some ribbon on her new art journal, which she left here, so it's going to go in the mail. But here's her art journal, and she picked Mondrian because she felt like, because her cover was so colorful, she wanted her closure ribbon to be so colorful too. So dang cute, I can't even stand it. Anyway, so I wanted to share that she's the one who, she said, the Mona Lisa has a lot of yellow, so I think that would go. So I'm so excited about that. Anyway, do you remember we were working on our Olympic, there we go, our Olympic art printable. And so I've been playing with the idea of layers on this too. When we started creating this together, I was playing with the idea of starting with watercolors and layering colored pencils, and then layering some pen work, whether it was my microns or my gel pens. So I've done that, and then I fussy cut them. I did some shadow and highlight work. So you'll see I'll do it on one of the daffodils so you can see. So on the left side, you're going to take, this is a gray pen. This is a Faber-Castell Big Brush. I love these. This is Cold Gray 3. So I'm going to take this down, this, but you use whatever gray you have. It could just be a Crayola marker, I don't care. Right? But we're going to do the left side, right? So right there. 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 Right. Right here. Right here. Right? Do you see how just the addition of those gray shadows are going to add depth, right? And so I did that on all of these pieces. You can see the gray there, the gray on the Eiffel Tower, on the Olympic ribbon. Paris, this one you can really see the addition of the gray, and then I did some white pen highlighting, and you see that gives it a nice rounded form, right? And then for my Olympic rings, do you remember I knew I wanted them to be, I wanted to paint them kind of fuzzy almost. And then what I did was, then I just cut out the rectangle, and then I went over each ring with a gel pen and just did circle, 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 and I feel like it really pulled it all together. I might still add a little bit of white on here just for some contrast, but I really like it. Okay. So what I was thinking was, when we had talked about this initially, I knew I wanted to, I think it was the Super Bowl. Periodically through the year, you know, I do these free printables that are interactive, so it's like we're doing it together. The Super Bowl one, Keely painted her pieces and then fussy cut them and then arranged them on the page, and I really liked that idea, and so I'm kind of going for it this time. So I was like, well, how am I going to arrange them? You know, I kind of like when things are overlappy, but I drew them separate so that if you wanted to use them individually, you absolutely could. Because I usually kind of draw them like kind of collagey where things are touching. But I thought, oh, you can totally do that all on your own. And so here's what I'm thinking. So we'll take these out. So I'm thinking I want to do this piece kind of up in this corner. There, can you see? There. There. Right? So I want this piece down, but I'm going to only apply adhesive down the center of everything so that then I can tuck things if I want. Right? So, where's my glue? So I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to put adhesive down the center so then I can kind of build my, and I'm just doing it, I was going to paint this page and then you know what, no, I'm not. But I liked that the grid, I thought that just that just added a little something, something. Okay, so this is down, but just in the center. So now I'm going to trim away. The excess. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay. So there's my first piece. Then I was thinking, kind of like to kind of tuck this in here. Maybe the Eiffel Tower can go here. So that was last week, Michelle. You absolutely need to do those. That was super. That was another Auntie Anne and Desiree project where we did Jeff Koons's balloon dogs. I thought if I kind of had some, uh-oh, where's my Paris? There it is. If I had some, that I could just build from the ribbon, right? And then I would have some open space where I could do all of my journaling, like what I wanted to kind of remember. Oh, I like it better there, I think. And then I like this kind of here because I feel like it's, I wanted it to kind of nest right in that G-A, like right there. I think I want it over all the way. There we go. I'm totally loving that. So let's get that down. Nest, nest, nest. Yes. Okay, and this, shut up, I'm loving this. So let's, because my glue has this needle nose applicator. Yes, yes, I have, Michelle. I love that they're bringing this whole new vibe to the Olympics because they're both such fans and are so supportive of all those athletes. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, so now I have 3 things left. I have Paris, I have the rings, and I have the French flag. So if I do the French flag up here, and then maybe we have that over top. Stop it. Love it. Stop it. I love when things nest together. It just makes me so happy. Right? There we go. And now I have the rings and I have the rings and I have the word Paris. So I could do like that. And then I have a really cool like where it just kind of trickles down the side vibe. I'm kind of digging that. What do you think? Yeah, I don't know that I like it up there. Well, maybe. I saw it. I saw that, Michelle. Isn't that amazing? I know. It just makes me so happy. You know what? I'm kind of liking that now. I'm kind of liking the Paris at the top. And then the rings down here. Then I still have all this that I can journal. Yep, I think I'm going to go there. Don't you think that it was telling that those Olympians, they have to, there's so much that their lives, other parts of their lives, they're putting on hold. Like I saw those twins that are badminton. They put their careers on hold because they knew they had one last shot at this Olympic experience. Okay. I am totally loving this. And I can't wait to feel... I told myself I wasn't going to write anything until like toward the end of the Olympics, but I do have pages and pages of notes. Oh, you guys. I'm loving it so much. I'm loving it so much. I'm loving all the bits and pieces, and that I can fill in all these areas with more, with journaling. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay. I don't know if I want to add anything more to this or if I just want to leave it the way it is. I'm kind of leaning toward just leave it the way it is. That's just kind of feeling good to me. And I think you need to do that. You need to do what feels comfortable for you, how you're, oh, there's some crayons on the floor. Okay, so let's do our comfort book right now while we're thinking about it. The most important kind of wealth. In 1981, American philosophy graduate Steve Callahan found himself adrift in the Atlantic for 76 days. He had been sailing a sloop he had designed and built, the Napoleon Solo. He was 7 days into a voyage from Cornwall to Antigua. One night during a storm, the boat was hit by a whale. The boat was quickly flooded and started to sink. Callahan escaped onto an inflatable life raft, but also managed to hold his breath and dive down into his boat a few times to get hold of essential supplies. The supplies included a small amount of food, navigation charts, flares, a spear gun, and a sleeping bag. He was then set entirely adrift from the boat. He was 800 miles west of the Canary Islands, but heading in the opposite direction. He had enough food and water to last him only a few days. He fished with a spear gun and made water with the solar still, a contraption that evaporates salt water and distills it and then purifies it. It took him days to get it working properly. There were many moments of dashed hope. For instance, on the 14th day, he saw a ship and lit a flare and thought he had been seen, but no such luck. He saw other ships, but again no one saw him, and soon he was south of the shipping lanes, heading into hotter and hotter weather. The discomfort was immense, the hunger, the thirst, the heat, the salt sores on his skin. Mentally, according to his own accounts, it was also tough, not just the continual threat of sharks, but his own thoughts. I had a lot of time to think, and I regretted every mistake I'd ever made, he told the Guardian newspaper in 2012. I was divorced, and I felt I had failed at human relations generally, at business, and now even at sailing. I desperately wanted to get through it so I could make a better job of my life. 50 days in, and things were looking hopeless. He had spent over a week trying to keep the damaged raft afloat with a pump, and he had no more energy. He broke down, but he pulled himself together just enough to find a way to temporarily fix the raft. Then his contraption to purify his water broke. He knew logically he was going to die, as he only had 3 cans of water left. He felt his mind, as well as his body, shutting down. He had lost a third of his weight. He had nothing else to give. He used flares and beacons. His use of flares and beacons had triggered no rescue attempt. I could feel all the people who had ever been lost at sea around me. At some point, he threw discarded fish guts back into the sea, which caused seabirds to hover over him. The seabirds drew attention of some fishermen from Guadalupe archipelago. They found Callahan on his 76th day on the raft and took him to shore, where he would eventually recover in the hospital. Although the ordeal was terrifying and nearly cost him his life, Callahan didn't regret having gone through it, and it never put him off sailing. In his book, Adrift, 76 Days Lost at Sea, he writes of how he no longer regrets his life and how he has learned to be grateful. My plight has given me a strange kind of wealth, the most important kind. I value each moment that is not spent in pain, desperation, hunger, thirst, or loneliness. Even more remarkable is his memory of beautiful moments within his ordeal. The sight of a clear, starry night sky overwhelmed him with awe. The view of heaven from a seat in hell. Come on. You guys, that was so good. I love that story. Okay, here's my idea. So I think I want to, we've done this before and I want to play with it again. Play with some washi tape on top of some of the petals. So I think I'm gonna, so those of you who are new to me, I design a whole slew of artsy washi tapes. And so I'm going to take and they are available for purchase on my website under Anne's Artsy Washi Tape. And this one, so some of them are wide and some of them are skinny. And this one is wide and it is, thinking let's, okay. It is Roy G. Biv. It's the colors of the rainbow. So I'm going to cut right there across the bottom. This is one of my favorite techniques. And I just kind of happened upon it one day. I was just fiddling with stuff. And it happened and oh my gosh. It makes me so happy. There. I'm just cutting it with my X-Acto. There we go. Right. I have glue all over my fingers and washi tape. It's a crazy combination. Let's see if that will work. Sort of. This might not be sticky enough because I've been touching it. Okay, stop it right now. I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Now I feel like I want to do this one. I just want you to see that there are so many artsy ways to just grow your art. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many things that you can do besides just paint it, right? These art printables, I try to draw them in such a way that let's see. that you can create in all different kinds of ways. You can enhance the art in so many different ways. Okay. And so at first, I was like, oh no. Whoops. I have a little hole here and a little hole here, but I thought, ooh, I could totally make that work to my advantage. What if I came in here and just started to make that I don't know, like it was meant to be there or something. Do you know what I mean? Just play it up. So look at your art that way, that, you know, you can take a mistake and make it work for you, right? So I would probably dig out my what do you call it? Burnisher, and burnish this washi tape right into the pan pastel, because that's going to give me some really that's going to make it become even more just kind of a part of it all, of the I know I love it too, Keels. I was kind of daydreaming about it yesterday. I had my pan pastels out and everything, and I thought, nope, keep it fresh for the art, for the pop-in paint party. I could do every other, couldn't I? So that one, I could go just a little bit more. There we go. Peel it off. Stop it. Oh my gosh. And I love that the type is all different directions. You know I love me and my X-Acto knife, Joni. I love it, love it, love it. I use it so much. It brings back lots of art school days memories. We became proficient with our X-Acto knives. Stop it. Oh my gosh. So I feel like, I don't know, like maybe, am I over? Probably. I feel like, what if I go over, once I burnish it, do you know what I mean? Then what if I, let's see if my burnisher is in here. Is there something else I could burnish with? This is the craziest gel pen. I'm trying to think where I found it. I think I found it when I was with James in Texas, in Austin, at that Japanese stationery store. Remember I was telling you about? It starts with a K. I'm not even going to try to say it. But anyway, It's a gel pen, and it's an 8, and it's by Sakura, but look it. It's a click. Stop it! How fun is that? Okay, so what if I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool to do a little bit of colored pencil on top of here? Look how that just totally... So go down the sides, do it at the tippity top, and then go down the sides. Do that circly blend. Oh, come on. That's making me so happy. So take some time. Do you know what I mean? Take some time to create little artsy parts that we can go on and use in other things later. Right? You don't have to... what's the word I want to... Like, you don't have to have an end goal in mind, right? You don't have to... I think I want to add a little bit of orange on here, too. You don't have to have a finished product in mind. Just work this into something that you're just mad about. Work each little piece. And then when you put those pieces together, holy smokes, you're going to be so happy. And follow along with the Olympics with all of us. Come on. Right? Da 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 da. Kind of take a nap. You guys, I'm mad for it. I'm mad for it. So, I know I've gone over. Big surprise to all of you, I am sure. Anyway, think about artsy techniques that you want to grow and play. Follow the Olympics, do your interactive piece in your art journal, and then make some notes and add those later. Create some cool daffodil artwork. And just enjoy your weekend. And I will see you all on Tuesday. I adore you all. And look for your email, in your email today for this week's newsletter. Sorry so much. Hey, Chris. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.